Imagine you are walking into an old, dusty pub in North Yorkshire, England. It's a cold night, the wind is howling outside, and you just want a warm place to rest. You look around the room. It's crowded. People are drinking, laughing, shouting. But then, you notice something strange. In the corner of the room, there is one empty chair. It's an old, simple oak chair with a high back. It looks sturdy, it looks comfortable, and strangely, no one is sitting there. Even though the pub is packed, people seem to be avoiding that specific corner. They give it a wide berth. They don't even look at it. You are tired. Your legs are aching. You think to yourself, why not? You walk over to the corner. You pull the chair out. The wood scrapes against the floorboards, making a sharp sound. The whole pub goes silent. Eyes turn toward you. The laughter stops. An old man at the bar puts down his glass and stares at you with pure terror in his eyes. But you ignore them. You sit down. It feels fine. It's just a piece of wood, right? Just furniture. You finish your drink, you pay your tab, and you leave. What you don't know is that you just started a countdown. You don't know that by sitting on that wood, you have sealed your fate. Because everyone who has sat where you just sat has died a sudden, violent death within hours. Welcome to the true story of the Busby Stoop Chair, the deadliest object in Great Britain. To understand why your life is now in danger, we have to go back in time, back to the year 1702. You need to meet the man who owned this chair. His name was Thomas Busby, and he was not a good man. Busby was a thug, a thief, and a drunkard who ruled his household with an iron fist. He lived in North Yorkshire with his wife, Elizabeth. But Busby had a problem. He didn't own the inn he lived in. It belonged to his father-in-law, a man named Daniel Aughty. Daniel and Thomas hated each other. They fought constantly. But one specific argument changed history. One night, Busby came home drunk to find Daniel sitting in his favorite chair. That chair, the one you just sat in. For Busby, this was the ultimate insult. He screamed at the old man, threw him out of the house, and swore revenge. Later that night, consumed by rage, Busby went to Daniel's house. He didn't go to talk, he went to kill. With a hammer in his hand, he bludgeoned his father-in-law to death. But justice was swift in the 1700s. Busby was caught, tried, and sentenced to hang for murder. Before his execution, he was granted one final wish. He asked to visit his favorite pub one last time. He wanted to sit in his favorite chair and have one last drink. The guards agreed. They watched as he sat down, drank his ale, and stared at the wood beneath him. As he stood up to be led to the gallows, he looked at the patrons in the room. His eyes were filled with hate. He shouted a curse that would echo through history. "May sudden death come to anyone who dares sit in my chair." They hanged him, but his anger didn't die. It stayed in the chair. For years, people thought it was just a local legend, a spooky story to tell children. But then, the bodies started piling up. Fast forward to the 1940s, the world is at war. The pub, now named the Busby Stoop Inn, became a popular spot for Canadian airmen stationed nearby. You can imagine them, young, brave pilots looking for a laugh before they flew off to fight. They heard the legend of the chair. Being young and fearless, they mocked it. Locals say that the pilots would take turns sitting in the death chair as a dare. They would laugh, toast to Thomas Busby, and joke about the curse. But the locals weren't laughing because they noticed a pattern. Every single pilot who sat in that chair never came back from their mission. Those who sat on the floor, they returned. Those who sat on the bar stools, they survived. But the ones who sat in Busby's chair, they were shot down,
They crashed. Their parachutes failed. The survival rate for sitting in that chair dropped to 0%. It got so bad that the landlord of the inn moved the chair into the cellar. He didn't want anyone else to die. He thought he could hide it. But curiosity is a powerful thing, and furniture kept in a cellar waits for its next victim. You might be thinking, that was wartime. Accidents happen. Well, let's move closer to the modern day. Let's go to the late 1960s and 70s. In 1967, 2 Royal Air Force pilots visited the inn. They found the chair in the cellar. They were skeptics, men of science and flight. They laughed at the stupid superstition and sat in the chair. On their drive home, their car hit a tree. Both died instantly. A few years later, a group of builders came to the pub for lunch. The chair had been brought back upstairs by a new owner. One young builder, tough and arrogant, decided to prove everyone wrong. He sat in the chair. He looked at his friends and said, "See, I'm fine." He finished his lunch. He went back to the construction site. An hour later, the roof of the building he was working on collapsed. It fell only on him. He was crushed to death. The list goes on. A chimney sweep who sat in the chair and was found dead the next morning hanging from a roof. A delivery driver who sat in the chair to rest his legs and crashed his van on a straight road an hour later. No mechanical failure, no other cars involved, just death. The curse doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're a soldier, a worker, or just a tired traveler like you. It promised sudden death, and it always delivers. Finally, the landlord, Tony Earnshaw, had enough. He couldn't have more blood on his hands. He couldn't just throw the chair away. What if someone found it and took it home? So, in 1978, he did the only responsible thing. He donated the chair to the Thirsk Museum, but he gave them one strict condition. You must ensure that no one ever sits in it again. The museum curators took this seriously. They didn't put it behind glass. They didn't put a velvet rope around it. They knew that human arrogance would always lead someone to try and sit. So, look up. If you go to the Thirsk Museum today, you will see the chair, but you can't reach it. It is hanging 5 feet in the air, suspended from the ceiling. It hangs there like a condemned prisoner, waiting, watching. So, let's go back to the beginning, back to that pub, back to when you walked in and saw the empty seat. Knowing what you know now, looking at the trail of bodies spanning over 300 years, if I offered you $1 million to sit in that chair for just 1 minute, would you do it? Some say it's just coincidence. Some say it's psychology. But are you willing to bet your life on that? Thomas Busby said, "Death to anyone who dares sit in my chair." And so far, he has kept his promise. Thanks for watching Paranormal Lines. If you valued your life, you wouldn't sit there, but you should hit that subscribe button. Stay safe and watch where you sit.